my thing the things changed for me. For like, I got the main problem was for me, it was trust. I wasn't trusting my strategy. I wasn't being honest with it, or I wasn't being, okay, I'm gonna take this edge, nothing else. I was like always looking around and looking for that same keys or 100% win rate strategy. So
Yep.
I started backtesting and I collected data. As I was collecting data, I was improving the strategy. I got more trust in it, and as I got more trust in it, and whenever I was looking into someone else's trades, I was like, okay, this is not my trade, not my strategy. I'm okay with mine, and I got trust in mine, and I have a lot of data of mine, and this I have made this by myself, and I will trade this no matter what because I know the dynamics, I know the backtesting. I got decades of backtesting, so it is
Mm,
profitable at the end of the day. If I'm going anywhere else, that's not emotional control, and that's really unprofessional behavior. So yeah, that's the thing. Now I'm not having the like the thing is, this question popped up in my mind because today I had the same scenario. Like,
mm,
I was trading my strategy, but my strategy looks like is like I got only 5 to 6 trades per month, and I was like about to pass the account, so I thought, why not just tweak a little? And I was also creating another strategy which I didn't had much trust in it. So I got out of my plan and started trading another edge, and I lost as soon as I lost that trade on 3 accounts, bro. My psychology went in directly in a hole, and I was
yep.
like completely out of control and greed,
Mm,
emotions. I was like, should I catch the trade? Should I chase the market? Or what should I do? Should I open the position and revenge trading? All of the psychology went up it like this. It went
mm,
directly into a hole, and I was about to blow in accounts after all of this backtesting, all of the mind work. So I stopped, walked away from the screen, had a walk, had a drive, came back after a few hours, looked at what I was doing wrong, what was my thought process in that time, and I analyzed that I got out of my plan and started trading emotionally. That wasn't my plan. That strategy wasn't totally ready to execute on the live markets. I didn't have much data. I didn't have much trust in it. So my entry mindset was, okay, I'm gonna win. If I lose, then I didn't have that plan to, if I lose, what's my perspective is gonna be if I lose. I was just getting in the market and for the greed of profits, not like as a professional trader executing a market and just letting it run. So that was a mistake, and I noted it, and like I analyzed that I'm not gonna do that same thing again.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I love many things that you've mentioned here to achieve. One thing is, in terms of
Mhm.
strategies, many people think there's so many strategies because nowadays there's so many concepts, there's so many mentorships teaching essentially the same strategy, right? ICT
Yeah.
or SNR, etc., etc. But this is the thing that I tell people at the end of the day, there only is ever two ways you can enter a trade, right? And people might say, okay, what do you mean by there's only two ways? Well, if you're a buyer, you either buy at a higher price or you buy at a lower price, right? There's no other ways you can buy a trade. Yeah. And of course, now the way you decide to execute and perhaps position yourself, that's entirely up to you, isn't it? You decide whether you want to be a buyer at the top or you want to be a buyer at a lower price. And the concerns, of course, are slightly different compared to each. Um, but really, if you have a strategy and you've back tested it and it seems to work, then the issue most likely is in what is in money management. Yeah. And especially when you mentioned about your psychology today, when you kind of felt that you started to lose it, right? And you switched everything off and you turned off.
Yes, yes.
In my opinion, you've
Mhm.
done the right thing. So I would give yourself a pat on the back. That is the correct thing to do. And don't get me wrong, that is very difficult to do at the same time. Very, very difficult to do.
That's really
Um,
hard to do. I mean, when the
yes.
rush and adrenaline is at the highest point, and
Yeah.
you don't want to leave the charts, you want to get that money back, or you want to win or lose all of the money. You want to
Yeah.
hit the big run or go home with nothing. So
Yeah.
at that time, leaving the stage alone is a really hard call. And at
Yeah.
your first 30 to 1 hour minute, it's gonna be a hell in your head. But as soon as you get back to your control, get back to your grips on the thoughts, then it's likely to get it's easy. And the second problem I had is thing is my problems I've solved, but I want to get more experience and more opinions on it. The thing is, I had an issue with greed. So
Hmm.
as soon as I hit my take profit, I wasn't closing my trades. I was like, okay, little more. I wasn't following my plan. I was like, little more,
Hmm.
little more, little more. And after the little more, I've blown accounts. So, what do you think is the greatest and the simplest? Not simplest, I mean, it isn't simple, but what is the greatest explanation and the helpful guide to like get your greed addiction a little lower?
Ugh, I think greed and fear is always going to be part of human nature. And Rudy had a great example, which, of course, I will let Rudy talk through his example, right? But for me, greed and fear is always going to be part of human nature. It's not something we can say fully control. I mean, we can control it to some extent, but fully is, I would say that's about overstretch. Yeah. Um, so, what's the best thing we can do then here to achieve? Is that how can we control our greed? So if you can't, I mean, I know people who, like yourself, you're quite good at dealing with losses, right? Perhaps when you win a couple of trades, you want to keep trading to keep winning more. So for people who are kind of struggling with that aspect, there are ways on your platform to set your daily target and your daily stop loss. Yeah, either you set your daily target as 1%, your daily stop loss is 1%. When the 1% is met, well, the platform closes all the trades and no trading until the next day, right? No further trading until the next day. So if you're at that stage where you kind of need that because you can step away because you feel like, Greece kind of taking over, well, that's a great alternative, right? That's a great alternative to use because you're giving that control in the hand of not someone else, but you're giving it control to the in the hands of the platform, right? You're letting the platform control instead of letting you keep trading, etc., etc. So that's a great way of doing that. But Rudy did experience something related to this, so I will let him talk through kind of his example last week.
Uh, it is, you mean my
When
end
you
of,
shared, yeah. When you
so the
shared
one
into
with
the chats,
the,
yeah,
so
yeah,
it is the danger of constant winning, you mean, yeah?
yeah.
So yeah,
Mhm.
and this is
Win
something
streaks.
that I'm fighting with. It's very rare now, but it is happening, and I'm learning to, because it's not happening so often. It's really hard to kind of measure the progress, and so I'm
Mm,
getting into a point where I have 3-4 weeks winning streak, and I mean like I'm winning every day, and then it's really hard for me to accept the loss.
mhm,
And so obviously, as it's happening once a month, then I'm trying to kind of already expect it in certain time, even though the market is unpredictable. But then it's just really difficult to. And the question is, why is it really difficult to accept the loss? Is it just because I don't want to win the momentum? Because I'm not really so fixated on the balance. It's more about maybe just feeling well, or even the curve. The curve looks really nice on the dashboard as it's going gradually slowly up, and you don't want to see the dip there. But
mhm,
it is very difficult. But I'm achieving to react kind of in time, and
mm,
the damage is lower and lower. But yeah, and the point of this is that it's not only the losses that are dangerous, but also the wins, because we are overconfident. We feel like we've mastered it amazingly well, and then
Mhm.
it's very interesting what's happening in human mind. And if you feel that you completely in control, these kind of things will show you that no, we are not, and there is always something to work on. And you just be aware,
Yes.
and you really need to do the reality check very often just to understand if you are able to react properly and in time.
mm,
Yeah, surely the problem I was having was that, as you said, as you are facing this problem and continuously working on it, the winning streak. This is the main issue. I was having the. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was having the winning streak for same as you for weeks. The
yeah,
thing which was haunting me was as same. It wasn't happening very often. So how do I track this greed and how, what is it? What is it which is making me this much bad? So I like analyze that as soon as I'm having and hitting the winning streaks for weeks and sometimes for months. So that I wasn't being feared by the loss, but I was being afraid of me losing that confidence and losing my like my state that I was I was in a state that I can't lose or I don't want it to lose, not because of the
Yeah.
loss, but of the
Yeah.
status that I am the winning one. I don't want to lose. Um, that's what was giving holding me back. That once I was having a lot of wins, I was being a lot much confident and a lot much delusional. I wasn't getting back to reality that okay, this market is unpredictable, and you would have losses, and you would have to get back to your plan. I was like, okay, unconfidently, not looking at how the loss gonna play out and how I'm gonna have the same thought process and how I'm gonna handle my emotions. No, I was like entering the trade. I knew that the market is mine and I'm gonna win, and it was happening a lot of time and after that, as soon as I'm hitting the losing streak, I'm
Yeah.
getting loose of my grip. I'm getting my emotions out of control, getting the grip off of my emotions, and everything's just started to collapse in my mind. That okay, what's happening now? I was not like this. So I analyzed it, and the thing came up was I was being more confident and delusional. I have to get back to reality of trading.
I love it. I love this
I
concept.
think
And
I think
yeah,
that
ready, go on.
you can look at it from the point of view that basically even if you lose some of the battles, you can still win the war, and this is
Mm,
a good
Obviously.
way of looking at it. That
But at
yeah,
some
even the
point,
winners
like
can.
when you haven't experienced it, it's you feel like no, I'm gonna win. I
yes.
don't feel like to lose. Even if you lose, that makes you okay. What did I do wrong? Why did it happen to me? Like your confidence and your adrenaline gets too much higher that you don't want to lose because of the money. Like money is not the case. The case is the winning streak. Like as you said, the curve, the good
Yeah.
up curve. You don't want to get it a little lower. You just want to keep it going. You just want to keep growing, and as soon as you come down you will start to feel like shitty. I mean shitty that you feel like am I doing something wrong? Why did this happen? Okay, after that another loss. Okay, why is it happening? I wasn't having like this. I was like being too good, and you like get the you at the end of the day you forgot how to deal with losses. Like
Mm,
you are not dealing with losses and you forgot to deal with how to deal with losses and always only deal with winners. So you get that losing control out of your mind and only focusing on the wins and not being prepared for the losses. That's how you get in the hole. That's what I have
yeah.
learned from my journey.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
That's
amazing
exactly yeah.
how the human how the mind is playing with us, and sometimes it's easier said than done. That we obviously understand that it's a lesson and it can teach us a lot. But at that moment, you're emotionally exactly where you said. It's like, oh no, I messed up big time. What I'm gonna do and why I've done it, and it obviously takes time to recover to get it to the same structure as before. When it comes to the curve, you want to see it nicely, and now it's ruined. What I'm gonna do, is it better to
Mm,
just lose the account and start all over again, because I want to see just a nice curve.
Yeah, same thing. Okay, which like the template or the strategy I used to eliminate this was I started noting the thoughts I was having before the trade. As soon as my entry, I'm on my entry zone, and I'm just 5 minutes away from my trade. I start to write what my thoughts are right now. Am I nervous? Am I confident? Am I trusting my strategy? Main things I should be focusing on and I should be feeling is confidence,
mhm,
motivation, and trust. If I'm away from these emotions, I have to get away from a screen, do a meditation for 3 minutes, and get my mental again in state line. Okay, once that is in time, get back to charts. If the trade is played out, okay, it's okay, no worries. The market isn't running away, nor does your account. Be
mhm,
patient, be focused. After that, and if I have entered the trade, that trade isn't running away, and I have entered with a motivated, confident mind. So after that, in that trade, I have to focus on three psychology principles. First, no greed. Second, again, trust and motivation. Okay, if now sometimes what I was having, even if I was in a winning trade, I was feeling like okay, it's going to reverse, or this is not my edge. This has happened because I got lucky. Next time it isn't
Mm,
going to happen. Even in a winning trade, I'm in a bad state of mind. So that wasn't really helping me. So what I did was, okay, I'm being confident and I am motivated that this was my edge and this was a plan. I made it happen. And third, what I used to write is when in exiting a trade. That's really important too. When you're exiting a trade, even with a win or a loss, you should be looking at, did you execute your strategy well? Did you have played your plan well? And uh, did you have eliminated the conflicts which you were having the last time? So if these things are in line, you are good to go, and that was a win for you. Even in the markets, it became a loss. If you have played your strategy and have wrote it all your thought process, that's a win for you. And as soon as I started doing that, I got a lot of knowledge, and I got a lot of learnings what I was missing, and what was my mental belief conflicts which was holding me back. So that made a big change in my journey. Writing your thoughts and writing your psychology.
mm,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
also very good to have a trading buddy who you can share these things with, because then you
Mhm.
understand that you basically facing very similar issues, or the same ones, just the order is different, and then you can kind of help to control each other, and there is
Mhm.
always a space for constructive criticism, and that helps a lot as well. What you said is basically what I'm now advising many of the new traders, that they should really focus only on waiting for the right setup, execute, and journal, and all over
Mhm.
again. Just waiting, execute, journal,
Repeating.
and this is the stage, the most important stage, where you're just collecting the data this way, and you're learning a lot, and you're building a discipline, and this is really the habit that you want to kind of develop. So, yeah, this is a very good speech today.
The
Yep, yep,
thing
yep.
I have learned one other thing, that is, like, if I get all the trading mindset in one line, I'm gonna do it like this: that execute with the motivated, confidence mind. Don't focus
Mm,
on the outcome of that trade, and get the same mindset to the next trade, and keep repeating
beautiful,
it. That's the
beautiful
line I
said.
Motivation
have
is
made.
a
That
bit motivation is a bit tricky, and it's really hard to stay
like
motivated.
motivation in your no no motivate. What I mean by motivation is, for me, that trust and confidence in your edge, that okay, I got my edge finally executed with motivation, not as motivation for wins, no, not at all. For your, like, I find motivation that okay, my edge has come, now I have to play. That's the motivation for me. Nothing else.
Okay.
No, I don't want the wins
Mm,
or anything else. Motivation is just like giving me more confidence. Okay, I'm motivated and confident. Okay, execute.
I like it. I like it. I like it. And that's what I think it should be as well. When you do see a trade setup or when you see things to start playing to a plan, you should be motivated. You should be excited, right? It's time to do business. It's time to try and make some money from the market. So, yeah, I agree. I
Mhm.
agree. I agree. Yep, 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 yep. Yeah, very well said. Here to achieve, honestly, a lot of good value delivered. Really, in my opinion, a lot of good value delivered. And of course, the kind of this journey, the experiences that you're going through, um, it's not only you. Like I said, it is very
Mhm.
common. In fact, I've been through this phase, of course, and it's not easy, right? It's definitely not easy. There's a lot to do in the background. A lot to do, perhaps over the weekend, backtesting, journaling, like Rudy said. Yep, all of these things, and sometimes it can be lonely. And of course, the best thing I do recommend is to, well, Rudy's a good mentor, so if you have any questions, you can shoot him a DM, and of course, try to find groups where people are kind of trading, discussing similar things, and trying to keep each other accountable. Right, try to keep each other accountable. That makes trading a little bit easier, just a little bit easier when we
Yeah,
do that.
surely.
Okay. So is there anything that you perhaps want to add on, Data Chief? If not, we've got maybe 15 minutes. We can see what we can get with the last 15 minutes.
Well, I mean, well, I'm almost done. The thing is, I'm already, alhamdulillah, are in a really good state of training. I just wanted to talk to you
Mm,
guys and have your perspective on this too, because I was having that problem that I came and told you that was it a me problem, or it was someone like it's a general problem, because I again
yeah.
I again had this problem today. So I made the decision, and it was hitting my mind, bro. After all these struggles and all this progress? Why did you did the same mistake all over again? So I noted it, and I thought, okay, I'm not gonna do the same thing anywhere again. So even though I stopped, what I made a rule for me today is that what as you traded right now is restricted for your
Mhm.
30 next days, because you traded it and you became in an emotional hole because you didn't have much trust in it. Why did you have
Mhm.
much trust in it? Because you didn't have enough data as in
Yes.
live markets, enough data as in back testing. If you
Yep.
had enough back testing and you had a proper plan, you wouldn't be in anywhere around these emotions. So you have to be restricted from this as a 30 more days, do a back testing, a lot of sessions, and
Mhm.
have get in the market with the mental edge. I see a lot of people getting in with strategies but not having a mental edge on that same strategy. I feel like on every strategy there is a different mental edge. I mean, there's always another perspective. If I am trading my edge, I got another psychology to execute that. And if I'm switching to another strategy, I have to get and I have to alter my psychology a little. For suppose I am trading a swing strategy, and after another day, I have to know that I have to trade scalp. So I can't scalp with the same mindset I was swinging with. Obviously, swinging is a long game. I can't go aggressive with that same state of mind. I have to change it to
Mhm.
switch to another strategy. So that's what I did, and I got restricted from that edge. And I thought that, okay, repeat your mental psychology and get back to yourself. And when all the things are in line, then execute.
I've
Love it.
noticed one thing. I've noticed one thing,
Mhm.
and I want to react to this what you said. So I've noticed that many of us, including myself, that we used to say that I'm never gonna repeat this mistake again, but we are kind of
Mhm.
setting us up for a failure and disappointment because
Yeah.
we will repeat it. And what I'm trying to teach the people, and basically the way I look at it now, is that if I repeat this again, I'm gonna react differently. Yeah, and that is giving me more kind of better feeling after I repeat the same
Mm.
mistake instead of being upset and sad that I've said myself I'm not going to do it again. So
Mm.
I consider it as a failure. So instead of that, I'm looking at it as a chance to improve and kind of measure the way that I've reacted differently, really, and I've improved
Uh,
at least a little. And this is
yes, I
helping
like
me.
this. I
If
like
I'm
this.
going to
Yes,
repeat it again, and you'll see it's a really interesting mindset shift, and it helps a lot, and you don't feel so disappointed after.
Yep.
yeah, surely. Yeah, I have like experienced the same thing. That for suppose if I am having a mental breakdown in the same day on trading, and I
Mm.
have said that I'm not gonna get in the same hole again, and same next day I am going on the same path, and I have realized, okay, I'm going the wrong way. But what can I do to reduce the breakdown? What can I do to improve? What can I do to not to fall too deep? Okay, I'm falling, but I don't want to go again that deep. I should be a little above. So yeah, I agree with you that by little you're gonna get rid of it. Yeah, I agree with you. I have experienced the same. Thank you for that too.
Yep. 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 Okay. We have around 10 minutes here to achieve. Did anyone else? I did
Thank you so much.
see. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. I did see someone else mentioning they want to join, but I don't know if we can get them in. Don't think we have time for that. Um, or maybe
I'm
not.
sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
What did you say
Maybe
also?
not. So here to achieve. Yeah. Sorry, no, no. I was trying to see if anyone else wanted to join reading through the comments, but maybe not. Maybe not. That's okay. We have 10 minutes. We're going to the giveaways shortly. Um, but yeah, in conclusion, here to achieve. Yeah, you're definitely right. In terms of strategy that you mentioned as well, and I quite like that as well, because I feel like everyone, once you're kind of used to a trading style, and by trading style, I mean once you're used to either buying a higher price or buy a lower price. For example, if you buy as a momentum trade at higher prices, naturally you're going to feel very uncomfortable buying a drop, right? Naturally, you're going to feel very uncomfortable buying a price
Mm.
that's dropping. So trying to force that,
True.
setup or that strategy isn't going to sit well with you. Okay, and of course that's something here to achieve. That's what you mentioned, right? And that's what I agree with massively. So find your strategy, and of course find what type of strategy that makes sense to you. That makes sense to you. Yeah.
What fits your personality well, right?
Yeah. It's based on your personality, and of course the market you trade to some extent is also based on your personality, right? You could argue that the market you trade is also based on your personality. Some people like
Obviously,
faster markets.
some people like to go with the steady ones, right? Everything.
Yep.
It's just if you are like if you want to be more patient and you are trading scalping, it's not going to work out for you because you want to be patient. Then maybe day trading or swing trading would be for you.
Hmm. Exactly.
There is an
Okay.
interesting question, Eric. Do
Yep.
prayers work in trading? And the,
um.
the thing is, what is prayers? Yeah. So prayers is kind of affirmations to me. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you repeat, you kind of talking to your higher self. If
Yeah.
you understand the concept of God, that we are children of God, and there is some kind of unity because we basically come from that God. The
Mm.
prayers are affirmations to your higher self. And if you put emotions into the prayers, it's basically like repeating what you really want to achieve or what would you like to happen. In such case, it's definitely helping you. If
Mm.
it's not gonna change the outcome of a trade, or it's not gonna change the direction of gold tomorrow, but it can
Mm.
definitely help you to be more motivated, more in control, more self-aware, and all these kind of things.
Yep. Praying, in my opinion, which I do pray, which is good. Either you want to call it meditating or whether you want to call it praying. For me, is I know there's a lot of kind of jokes around, when you're sitting in drawdown, perhaps you're praying for the price to, get back to you, stop a break even, and that. Yeah, that type of nonsense doesn't work, guys. That's called being hopeful, right? And being hopeful never tends to go well with the market. Okay, but I suppose what the praying that we're referring to is kind of what Rudy said, right? Is kind of self-aligning. You're trying to visualize your goal, and of course, how you can perhaps make that goal into reality, right? How you can change that goal into a reality, and being praying, kind of talking to that higher sense of yourself, it brings a lot of clarity through the process, and of course, that clarity sometimes can be reflected, right, when you're trading, because that belief is a subconscious. Um, so from that perspective, yes, I agree. I like the idea of praying. I like the idea of self-evaluating.
Well,
Uh, Sorry, here to
well,
achieve.
yeah. Well, what I want to add to this. Well, Alhamdulillah,
Yep,
I'm a Muslim, and I
yep.
call myself a
I
good
can tell.
Muslim. So, well, I wasn't a good Muslim before, but as soon as like being a good Muslim, then as I was also trading. So what was
Mm,
a big change for me too that as I was starting out praying, then as Alhamdulillah, I believe that God Allah is the creator and the
mm,
creator has created everything. So what I started to do that I started to trust my God
mm,
and execute on my plans. That okay, what is
mm,
in my control and what isn't in my control. Okay, my control is to execute my strategies and execute on my things. Nothing else I can control, and control my emotions.
mm,
Second of all, everything's gonna play out. So Alhamdulillah, pray, ask for your goals, manifest, visualize your things. So, for a lot, that's a lot of important. Visualize what do you want to be, and pray for it
mm,
and put your total trust in your creator and
mm.
uh, do your 100%, give you 100% what is in your control. That's the main thing you can do what you can do and leave the rest to your God. Well, that's how what I want to.
Wow. Amazing. And I do think, um, because I'm not really like an atheist per se, right? I do have a belief, um, and
MashaAllah.
and that belief comes from a probability kind of. I mean, the probability of everything, the way the sun is, the way everything aligns, and for us to be, to be able to kind of live on Earth, the probability of everything being exactly perfect, guys, without a creator is very low. But
Alhamdulillah.
then again, Yeah, so
Obviously.
that's just my personal opinion, right? That's just my personal opinion from studying probabilities. And some people may
Oh,
agree, some people may not agree. Um, so I do think, especially if you do come from a religious background, here to believe, now of course you've got the most say in this, right? Because you're brought up in that way, and of course, a lot of
that's
things you say will take into consideration. But I do know Ramadan just started, so Ramadan Barak, and of course,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Same to you, Ramadan Mubarak.
yeah. So I do hope there's a lot of blessings coming your way, and
Well, what I think is when you are a trader and a professional trader, everything in your life changes. I mean, if you want to trade and like do your daily routine in a different way, that's not gonna work out. You have to get your trading and your daily routine in the same line. You have to get your life and your trading in the same line. I was
mm,
not doing this. Yeah, that's another concept that I was not doing this. I was like waking up, opening the charts, taking a trade, done. And not waking up late, first of all, waking up late, not like being disciplined, not first of all going to the washroom and getting fresh. No, open charts, take trade, okay, again sleep, and not focusing on the routine. And that was building me indisciplined. That was not building me discipline. I was being really, really out of emotions. So I started to look into it. Okay, what am I doing wrong? What things are making me being impatient, making me too weak, or making me too uncomfortable. So I
mhm,
started from the start that I heard someone in a speech that wake up and make your bed, then make the world. So I woke up, and first thing I did, started making my bed and got my routine in line. So was if I'm being disciplined in my routine, okay,
mhm,
but then I'm being disciplined in my strategy, okay. Slowly, 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 things change for me. Everything you see, if you have a good mindset, you are gonna totally sign it with your trading. For suppose as in Ramzan, I got this topic from Ramzan. I'm fasting, okay, Alhamdulillah. So as I'm fasting, it's a challenge, and I'm being disciplined for fasting for my Lord. So this also contribute to my discipline, and I'm gonna be a good trader from it. So because I got more discipline to it, because I'm controlling my hunger. Hunger is also comes with an emotion. Hunger is also an addiction too. Like when you're
mhm.
too hungry, you don't want food. Your body don't want food, but the thing is, you are addicted to the food. So you take food. That's also an addiction. So you are getting away from addiction. So I call this also being more disciplined.
I love this. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think here to achieve. Yeah, I love the things that you're mentioning. But the thing is, obviously, I don't know too much about the religion, so I don't want to talk too much about it. But from what I do know, Muslim or the religion itself is a lifestyle choice, right? It's a lifestyle choice. I know you guys have 5 prayers a day throughout the
Alhamdulillah.
day, and especially during times like Ramadan. There's certain restrictions, and of course you have to keep yourself accountable. Is that discipline you mentioned, right? that discipline
Mm.
that
Discipline.
discipline is yeah, that discipline gets transferred across. I believe your discipline gets transferred, like you said, to trading, right? And of course it becomes very powerful um when we talk about these things, and I think having that background will make that transition a lot easier. Of course, that's why I really like hearing you talking about these things. Actually, very, very good points. Very good point. Well made.
Well, I
But as
belong. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so I was going to say, because as time now, we'll try to do the giveaways. Uh,
Okay.
we'll
Okay.
try
Okay.
to do the
Sure. No
giveaways.
worries.
Yeah, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
Okay.
Okay.
Um.
Yeah. So here to achieve. If you may stay in the chat, because you will get a giveaway account. For simply joining us and sharing value, right? Great, great, great value shared today, honestly. But yeah,
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the time.
you're most welcome. So if we don't mind, so today, two giveaways here to achieve, Mr. Satoru, and then we'll do four random, guys. We'll do four random. Ginnix, if you're here, let's get the giveaway rolling. And Rudy, if you may do the honors and pick any four random numbers.
Okay. First, can I give one more thing? Okay. I'm sorry if I'm getting the time too late. I want
Yeah,
to
go
say
ahead.
one more thing. Okay.
Yeah,
I
please.
have seen that, as you said, that in the background, okay, you'd call out background. I see. I'm going to take this as a country and a culture. I'm from Pakistan. Okay. So I have seen as in journal, if a Pakistani person has started trading and a person from another country, for suppose, and UK or and for take US has started
Mhm,
trading.
mhm,
Those both people are living in different environments. Have both those both have different backgrounds, and those both have different beliefs. Okay,
mm,
what I have seen is that the guy from US is gonna be profitable in less time than the guy from Pakistan. Why? The thing is that that's a lot of things that comes to this topic, but what I'm gonna overall highlight is that that person will have good beliefs, have an open mind, and good perspective, and an open perspective. And for suppose, as we have in the situation in my country, I'm going to be a guy depressed, a guy not having emotional control, a guy his full mind is in with nudity and adult and fake and conflict beliefs. So this mind is going to struggle more to be profitable than the mind which is already has been freed from a lot of conflicts itself. So
mm,
culture and background plays a lot of a big part in your trading too.
mm. I like it. Yeah, this is something that I mentioned quite similar. Is this idea of purpose, tying your purpose together to, you know, every time perhaps you feel like giving up, think about your purpose, right? Why did you start trading? For that financial freedom, perhaps to retire mum and dad, perhaps to pay off the mortgage, things like this, right?
Obviously.
Yeah, so I like it.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, let's not drag this on any longer.
Okay,
Rudy,
absolutely, brother. Yeah.
apologies. Rudy, if you made it honest, please pick four random numbers. Okay, please pick four random
Okay,
numbers.
from
And
1 to 117, yeah?
yes, please. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Yeah, please. Yep.
Okay, so it's gonna be 16, 32, 51, and 77. And let's see who the winners are.
Well, apologies, guys. Yeah, I really need a toilet, guys. Apologies, I couldn't hold it any longer. Um, but yeah, well said. From here to achieve, really. Try scout. 16, 32, 51, 77. Okay, perfect. So we just ask Eric for instant accounts to any threshold. What do you mean threshold? If you mean max capital allowed, then I believe it should be 100k. Yeah, it should be 100k. It's fine. Oh, drum roll. Yeah. So Mrs. Satoru and here to achieve, was it here to believe? So they will get the two accounts Skinix and of course the four randomers. Yeah. Okay, for this week, guys, again, like we mentioned at the start of the podcast, be a little bit more careful. Yeah. Why? Because well, first, sorry, it's the first week of the month, isn't it? The first week of the month means a lot of news data release, especially NFP, right? Sometimes the whole week is surrounded through NFP, and during phase like this, just trying to be more careful, take less risks, and of course, trading news sessions, right? Avoid trading news sessions. Trade after US Open, perhaps even wait for 5-10 minutes to let the first volume cycle establish itself, and then, take good opportunities. Here to achieve, Mr. Satoru Saxa A4A4, Thomas Blue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. VRM MT and the Hyper, congratulations, play open a support ticket to claim your price. Again, guys, thank you very much for joining us today. It really has been a pleasure, and especially with some of the great value, some of the great discussions that we have had. Hopefully, you guys are able to take some of that into consideration, right? So that will be all for today's podcast, guys. We will be back next week. Yep. That's all for now. Bye bye. Till next time.
Bye bye. Have a good week, guys.